Hedera launches a massive new stablecoin, Cardano is partnering with two major companies, and whales are accumulating this one altcoin, even while retail interest is at rock bottom. This is your Altcoin Buzz News. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Cody, and if you're new here, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you know when I drop latest content. Follow us on Twitter, altcoinbuzz.io, and as always, not financial advice, and wish the best of luck in your crypto ventures. All right, good morning, guys. Happy Friday. We had a holiday yesterday, so we had this move that happened actually 2 a.m., which is still technically part of the holiday. We haven't had New York open, so we had this little bit of a pump, and usually we tend to reverse pumps that happen on weekday holidays. So I do expect us to come back down here, and I expect us at the very least to probably take out this wick here before ultimately going higher to new all-time highs. So I think we will come and take this out around $100,000. But if we're not going to do that, and if we actually do want to go higher, we're going to want to close above this level around $107,000 because you can see here we haven't been able to do that on the daily candle. We had this just about last week. We had on June 16th. We pumped up, we came down, we closed down below. We did it again the next day, we came down, closed down below. And so because we aren't able to close above this level here, it is still a bearish underside retest, and we are making these lower highs. So we do want to break above here and start to hold, because that'll give us a semblance of market structure changing to the upside, because right now we are just continuing to make lower highs and lower lows, and most likely we'll come back down here to sweep this at some point. So that is the thought process for today for Bitcoin. But we have Eric Balchunas saying risk on Orama. Despite the threat of war and ongoing media negativity, ETFs took in $68 billion in the past 5 days. That's about $11 billion a day, about 3 times the average. And all of the top 10 are equity ETFs, with the exception of IBIT. And we also have sentiment saying Bitcoin's elite versus mortal wallets are moving in 2 different directions, as its market value sits just north of 104.3K. When large wallets accumulate as retail loses confidence, this is historically the right combination for bullish momentum to inevitably return to the crypto market. So we can see here, we have the divergence of, retail selling and whales accumulating here as Bitcoin continues to chop in this area. And really time is the greatest factor here. Retail tends to lose confidence, tends to lose hope in the asset when we chop sideways for a while, and that's when whales tend to accumulate before the ultimate move up. So not saying that we can't continue down lower still, but this is all pretty much a range. If we hover between $110,000 and $100,000 for the next couple of months, and retail just gets chopped out, we get chopped out. If we just go like this for the next couple of months over summer, people will lose interest in crypto, and eventually we will then break out, and most people will miss this move as we break out from $100,000 to $120,000, $130,000 next. And then we have UK's Smarter Web Co. just raised $37 million to grow its Bitcoin treasury, adding 104 Bitcoin, bringing its total holdings to 346.6 Bitcoin, worth $34 million. They've just rolled out a 10-year Bitcoin strategy focused on payments and long-term accumulation, and their stock just jumped 9% on the news. So we're going to see a lot more companies starting to do this, and their stocks are going to start pumping because of the Bitcoin strategy. We also have the Japanese fashion brand Anap buys 31.2 Bitcoin, and they plan to increase their holdings to 1,000 Bitcoin by August 2025, so pretty soon. We also have Norway-based K33 secures 185 million Norwegian krone to buy more Bitcoin for its treasury, and publicly traded Selmer Scientific just announced to buy $10 billion worth of Bitcoin. So companies are going on a Bitcoin buying spree, which is why Bitcoin has really held up better than most. Even though Bitcoin is going sideways and down, altcoins are getting crushed because everyone is buying Bitcoin and everyone is buying it for their treasury. So it really has been a Bitcoin only kind of run so far, and we've seen that really as we're holding above $100,000. Bitcoin's at 100K, which is crazy, and altcoins feel like that they're at bear market lows. And then we have Ford explores decentralized legal data storage on Cardano's blockchain. So Ford, the massive company, wants to get decentralized legal data storage on Cardano. Cardano also added 400,000 new wallets in 6 months, with ADA adoption exploding. And Cardano has surpassed 1.3 million staking addresses, highlighting its status as one of the world's most actively staked blockchain networks. And then we also have Input-Output Global partners with Brave to integrate Cardano into the Brave wallet. So Brave, which is the browser, a very popular browser, is integrating Cardano with its new Brave crypto wallet, which is pretty cool. And we also have, according to Charles Hoskinson, Bitcoin DeFi transaction fees could go to the Cardano treasury. So he said this.
Also, transaction fees in Bitcoin for Bitcoin DeFi, those could also go to the treasury. And if that's the case, then the treasury will start accumulating. The more Bitcoin DeFi we have, Bitcoin as an asset, the same as stablecoin settlement. So let's say that Tether or Circle want to use Cardano as the vehicle to issue stablecoins onto Bitcoin. They can pay their transaction fees into Bitcoin in the stable asset because of Babel fees. So we have to begin building infrastructure as an ecosystem for a treasury that is multi-asset.
And according to Charles, full XRP integration is coming to Cardano. Charles Hoskinson hints at full XRP integration into Cardano, plus RLUSD, DeFi features, Lacy wallet support, and Glacier drops. A new crypto alliance could be forming. Now, Cardano is playing out to a T. It's been in this range between 60 cents and around 85 cents for a very long period of time. And this is just the mid-range here, around 70, 72 cents. So we've been in this range for a very long period of time. We're just chopping. I think eventually we'll break to the upside of this range, but we just need a little bit more time in consolidation. You can see here, we had the underside retest, this, and then we came down to this level of support. Now we're holding at this level of support, probably going to chop here for, another couple days, maybe a week or so, and then continue to try higher if Bitcoin wants to go higher. Now, if Bitcoin breaks down below 100K, this will most likely lose this level, but hopefully it's strong enough to then reclaim it. So if it breaks down here, hopefully, maybe it takes out these wicks here around 50 cents, but hopefully it's strong enough to then reclaim this 60-cent level and then continue higher. If Bitcoin does want to go down, that's what we can expect. But if Bitcoin wants to just continue here and then go higher, we could just chop around the 60-cent range and then head towards 72 cents next for the next level of resistance. And hopefully if we break above that, we head higher towards 85 after that. So anyway, Mark's saying this is huge for HBAR. Australian stablecoin AUDD launches on Hedera. AUDD aims to revolutionize payment processing, targeting hundreds of billions of AUD in annual volume. Backed by Australian Payments Plus, which is a $2 trillion process per year, Hedera Council member 150 plus partner financial institutions. With Hedera's ability to handle thousands of transactions per second, this could redefine digital payments in Australia and beyond, cementing Hedera's role in the future of finance. We also have the Hedera Foundation saying we're excited to announce a strategic collaboration with the Binary Holdings to introduce Hedera games to a network of 150 million plus users, starting with Smack Meo's Smack Mosquito and Metaverse Me. We also have John Squire saying big news in AI plus blockchain. Accenture plus Equity Lab and Hedera have joined forces to launch a new AI solution that helps governments and public sector orgs manage AI-driven decisions with transparency, auditability, and trust. Now, Hedera actually looks pretty similar to Cardano in the fact that it's been in this long accumulation range for the past, few months or so. So it's been in this range between around 26 and around 15, and we're at the bottom of this range right now. So we want to see this level hold. What might happen is, again, we could take out these lows here around 12 cents real quick. If we came down here, took out these lows, and then reclaimed, that's a possibility for Hedera. But overall, we want this to hold. We want this level to be held as support. Otherwise, we're going to fall much farther down because the next level of support really is much lower. We have this 12-cent level, and then after that, it's really just around 7 cents. And so we don't want to drop too much farther below there. So if you're going to long this, I would put stops below this around 12 cents. A little bit below this, and just hope that it goes back up to the next range here around at 25 cents. But overall, Hedera, it kind of looks like the rest of the market, just at the bottom of a range as Bitcoin goes sideways and altcoins bleed out. So this is a good level of support here. We want this to hold. Otherwise, we're coming back down much farther towards 7 cents, and that's about a 50% drop from here. So hopefully this holds and Bitcoin doesn't completely die. And if you want to see more news on Hedera, we just did a dedicated video about it here on our channel just yesterday, which you can check out, link down below. And then we have CryptoRS saying Sui blockchain surpasses 45 billion in total aggregator volume, a 19.22% increase in the last 30 days. Proof that Sui DeFi isn't just growing, it's compounding. And we also have Eisenhower saying Sui just got added to a $600 million treasury strategy, not by a DAO, not by a crypto native fund, but by a publicly listed TradFi derivatives firm. Lion Group has just secured a $600 million facility to build out a next generation crypto treasury. And what assets are they anchoring with it? Sui, Solana, and Hype. Let that sink in. Sui is now one of 3 Layer 1 assets being strategically accumulated by a TradFi institution, and not for speculation, but as a primary reserve allocation. Why? Because Sui isn't just a new chain, it's high-performing, scalable, and is structured like an execution-grade settlement layer. It's a global coordination layer built to handle billions of users and trillions of connections. Exactly what institutions are looking for. And this isn't a backroom move, they're planning public listings in Tokyo and Singapore tied to this treasury. That means exposure to Sui indirectly on regulated exchanges. Global TradFi will soon touch Sui without even realizing it. Just another on-ramp of institutional capital. The signal is clear. Sui Network is institutionally approved. And this is just the beginning. And we have Marty Party saying Sui News, Misten Labs has released their white paper on Sui for governments. The co-founder says stablecoins are crypto's clearest product market fit, and Sui Network will turn that into real-world adoption. And Sui also just posted yesterday big moves for DeFi and Sui. MMT Finance is teaming up with Wormhole and OKX Wallet to bridge billions in cross-chain liquidity into the Sui ecosystem. And lastly, Michael Vanderpump says this is a great article providing insights of why the Sui ecosystem is a must-watch. is quickly expanding and developing as their TVL and transactions are breaking highs. Technically, it is slightly trending down as the entire market is down, but all I know is that Sui is likely going to be one of the strongest projects to be bouncing back upwards when the markets are rotating. So he shares this chart here where Sui is now coming into this major level of support here around $2.75. And this is actually what we've been talking about for a while, that this would be the level of support here around this $2.78 level. We are coming into that right now. And for the past 3 days, this is a daily chart. For the past 3 days, we've been holding above this level here around $2.80. So this is a major level of support. And I could expect us at the very least to have a bounce up here towards, at the very least to $3 and around 29 cents for a lower high if we are going to continue lower. But if we want to continue higher, we're going to want to break back above this high around $3.50. So what could very well happen is we have something like this. We start making higher lows. And eventually, if we break above here, this is the clear signal that the market structure has shifted on a higher time frame basis, and that we are going to continue much higher to new all-time highs. But at the very least, I do expect some kind of bounce here, as we have been accumulating for 3 days at this level of support here. But that's the video for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on Monday.